You've worked countless hours in the gym, woken up at ungodly times, and after many years you finally reached pro status in baseball, till you find out there's no World Series. You're a hockey player, made it to the NHL, but there's no Stanley Cup championships. Your trials in track are unbeatable, but there's no Olympic event that you can compete in. Ever wonder what it's like to strive for something that doesn't even exist? Synchronized skating began as a small sport originally called precision skating, and since has held 18 ISU World Championships that have occurred around the world. Synchronized skating is a discipline of figure skating that calls for precise footwork, intricate formations, and uniform timing. Synchro is a combination of figure skating, pair skating, and even ice dancing, which are all currently Olympic sports right now. Today I will present to you why I think synchronized ice skating should be an Olympic event, given ethics, facts, and a personal story. Many people say synchronized skating should not be an Olympic sport for many reasons. One is that there's not enough countries. Currently at the last ISU World Championships, there were only 24 teams competing, and those aren't even all full of countries because you can have up to 2 people from one country, 2 teams, excuse me. So, there are also not as many good teams too. There have been a very limited amount of the Scandinavian teams that have been actually winning the gold medal, so a lot of other teams such as Mexico or Great Britain haven't really gotten much of the limelight. There's also too many athletes. And in the NBC Sports article, it states that there would be a big increase in personnel, up to 150 athletes, coaches, and support staff that would be added if this became an Olympic sport. That's a lot considering a team of 20 that could potentially win a gold medal. That's 20 gold medals, and then you still have your silver and bronze as well. There is also a lack of interested audiences. That's what is said, but I think that this is due to a lack of viewing. There we go. And then as well, as I mentioned in my informative speech, of imperfect scores. This is an example of a score sheet that I have up there, and it looks very, very complicated. And with that being said, there is a lot of room for manipulation in there, and that is not as easily caught as well. However, I do believe synchronized skating should be an Olympic sport. And first off, the ISU president, Otavio Cinquanta, put into the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, that synchronized skating should be an event. We wanted it to start off as a trial event. And this picture here is right after we were denied the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics. And all these teams have come together to make the Olympic rings, and this started the movement of why not synchro. And so even though we asked the IOC, and we have continued to ask the IOC throughout the years, we have been denied 2018, 2022 just recently, and now are trying for 2026 Olympics. Synchronized skating started in 1956, again, originally called precision skating, and according to the 2018 U.S. Figure Skating Fact Sheet, there are currently 629 registered U.S. synchronized skating teams. And again, to the counterclaims point that there are small countries in there competing for the top spots. However, in the past 16 years, there have been 5 different countries that have claimed the gold medal. And this is very different to women's hockey at one point, which is an Olympic event, which only had about 3 teams, and 2 for the past couple of years have been vying for the top spot. So a personal story of mine, I didn't really know too much about synchronized skating when it started. I didn't know what it really encompassed. I started very young, at the age of 6, and to me, my first goal was to reach the next highest level at my rink. And that only stopped at a certain point because we didn't have the talent there. And then it wasn't until about my sophomore year of high school where I realized how far that synchronized skating has come and how far that we can take it. So from there, I wanted to become on a senior team. A senior team is the highest level in synchronized skating. Adrian College has a senior team, and that would be the division that would compete in the Olympics if it were admitted. And I relate to this a lot because, as I mentioned in my intention grabber, that something you're trying to work for that doesn't exist is very disappointing. And because of this, I've actually looked more into, there's a hashtag why not synchro, and each year it keeps adding 4 more years for every Olympics we have been denied. and also one team movement. One team movement is starting for more recognition of synchronized skating, and with that being said, it also goes against one of my points of the counterclaim for a lack of audience. So this is just to gain more popularity within the sport itself. So in comparison, we are pretty complex athletes as it is a very intricate sport. We spend over 10 hours on ice. We have off-ice training as well. We have 2 programs, just like in the Olympics, with your short program and your long program, pairs, individuals. Again, the ungodly hours that we wake up in the morning just to strive for something that we want as badly. We have to be smart skaters as well. There's a high level of intellect to understand the physical, mental, and emotional demands of this sport. And then lastly, the strength, lift, speed, and agility that is required out of these athletes. These pictures alone you see are usually done with men in the Olympic sports, yet you see 2 women here doing exactly what they do. So all in all, this is a very complex sport. It is fun to watch, and it's very athletic, and it involves many, many passionate athletes that want this as an Olympic sport. Now, although it has been denied for 2022, we are striving for the 2026 Olympics, and we're hoping not to ever give up. So, thank you.